Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to be covering the Tier 8 Soviet submarine in the new Soviet tech tree line, the L-20. So L-20 will be available via consecutive bundles for 700 Soviet tokens after already exchanging 800 Soviet tokens. Don't get it for this, guys. Early access. Don't know. It's a submarine early access. Don't get it. Get it when it's a tech tree. Well, don't get it at all, guys. But if you're gonna get it for the tech tree, not when it's early access. For the commander build I'm gonna be running, it's the same build as the K1 from yesterday's video. We've got Helmsman, Liquidator, improved battery capacity, consumable specialist, watchful superintendent, enlarged propeller shaft, and adrenaline rush. We've got for equipment, we've got torpedo tubes mod 3, submarine steering gears, torpedo tubes mod 1, damage control system mod 3, and main armaments mod 1. Unfortunately, we do not have an exterior camouflage to show you early, so this is what we got. So this is what the ship looks like. I just put a random camo on it. I think it looks good with this camo. This is what the submarine looks like, as you can see. It's a little superstructure. We've got one gun. It's actually a main gun. It's playable. You can use it. Doesn't mean it's a good gun, but it's definitely there. Not as good as something like I-56 main gun. For survivability, we've got 15,250 HP, or 15,250 HP. Main gun, we got that 5-second reload, same exact gun, except you got 2 of them on the K1. Sonar, 15-second reload, quite slow. Reload on that sonar, but you're not playing it with the sonar, you're playing it with the conventional torps. Speaking of conventional torps, these ones at tier 8 do 16.5k damage, 77 knots, 1.4 detection, quite strong. Maneuverability, this one doesn't go as fast as the tier 10. This one goes a more reasonable 29.4 knots. Keep in mind, we're going to have that 18% speed buff, though, on it when we're less than 50% HP. So that doesn't really matter that much. Underwater maneuvering, though, only 14.7 knots when compared to its other tier 8 tech or premium counterpart, the S-189. That one goes 22 knots underwater and 31 knots on the surface. Actually, S-189 seems like overall a better ship. But the torpedoes to reload way slower, I guess. Concealment, we've got 6.2 detection on it. I think S-189 is actually a incredibly strong submarine. But they did nerf shotgunning, which was its main strong point. But it still has some stuff, I think. 9km hydro... Yeah, I guess it's the same. Very similar. 9km, yeah. So for hydrophone, we got 9 kilometer. Hydrophone, we got... Sorry, sub-surveillance, we got 9 kilometer. Hydrophone, we got 7. And we got 5 DCPs with this build. Concealment, 6.2. Let's go into the game in the L-20. Here we are in the game in the L-20 on Neighbours. We're mid-tier here. We've got tier 9s in the game, but we've also got tier 7s and tier 8s. We are playing tier 8. Of course, there are only 3 tiers that just came out for this tech tree, because for submarines, there's only 6, 8, and 10. So we've got the S1 at tier 6, we got the L-20 at tier 8, and we got the K1 at tier 10. Now, I've already covered K1 yesterday, and tomorrow I'll cover the S1, if you're interested in seeing what these submarines do. And on Monday, I believe I covered the SEAL first. Okay, so we instantly spot a salmon. So what we're gonna do is, because we're alpha, we're gonna open up with main guns. And he's opening up with his secondary. That's actually a secondary for him. For us, it's actually a main gun, so it's player controlled. So we do 1.4k damage for free. For free. Now, he did ping me here, but he's too close to do anything with red events. Now, he torps really weirdly. He is spotted by... I don't know, guys. To be honest, I have no idea how he was spotted for so long. But he was. Now, we did ping him. Now, that's not going to really matter that much. I do try to blind ping him, but as you can see, these pings, 15-second reload on the pings. We tried to hydrophone check if he's on the surface, but the only thing we saw is the Akizuki on the surface. We have our sub surveillance in 22 seconds that we're going to be able to use on him. If we surface, let's see if we can see him again. Come on, let's see what's going on. We don't see him just yet, but we do see his pings. There he is. We're going to open up back with main guns, guys. How exciting, huh? Boom. We got one shell hit, 300 damage. We, of course, missed, but you still get damage. Boom. Another shell hit right there, 363 damage. Huge damage. I'm going to dive here really fast, and we're going to use our submarine surveillance radar to try to see him 9-kilometer range there. Boom. We turn it on, 40-second duration. And he's spotted. We're going to ping him. He's outside that 3-kilometer range. So we're going to launch all those torps on him. That first torp that I launched on him early is actually rehoming onto him. I wonder if that actually ends up hitting him. It might. It did. It did 2.4k damage. He's quite saturated, I guess, so it doesn't do insane damage. Wow, big submarine versus submarine combat, guys. You haven't seen this in the K1 video, but look how exciting. And boom! I'm insane. 5k damage there, guys. So I have spotted our next target here. It's the Richelieu, guys. So these submarines are very similar to something like Gato, except across all tiers. Now, S-189, to me, seems like it's gonna do this job a bit better, because it is faster on the surface, periscope, and underwater. It still keeps the submarine surveillance of 9-kilometer. It still keeps the 7-kilometer hydrophone. The only thing you're not gonna have is the main gun that's player controlled, but who cares? The main gun is almost irrelevant. The torpedoes actually also do more damage on the S-189, but they do have slightly worse detection. That's kind of your own disadvantage, your only disadvantage. So S-189, it also gets 12, I believe, kilometer torps instead of 11. So overall, this seems like a worse S-189. Also, your detection is also better in S-189 by quite a lot. So it's really interesting how this is pretty much just straight up worse than the premium ship. That doesn't mean it's a bad ship, though, guys. It's still really strong. So imagine a ship like S-189, how strong it is, right? If you want me to cover S-189, I know you guys are going to say, no, don't cover it. If you want me to cover it in a future video, I can. Just so you know. Well, it is a Soviet submarine at the end of the day, so it's kind of related to these. But anyway, tomorrow I'll cover S1. This one will be the L-20 one. In this case, I'm not paying attention. I could have surfaced here and started to open up with my main guns. I ping him here. I'm going to launch some torps. I'm trying to get behind the smoke screen from the Ipiranga. When I do, I'll surface and I'll try to gun him down, I think, if possible. We're going to ping him one more time. Make sure to get that improved homing. He is 1 HP, though, unfortunately. We're trying to play a bit aggressive here in the submarine, just trying to run at their spawn as fast as possible, especially since we killed their submarine. There's no threat. Now, instead of shooting the Yakizuki, because I believe I'll just warp out the Yakizuki, I start shooting this Ipiranga and smoke, but he just dies anyway. We're at 21,000 damage now. So I double pinged the Azuma, and now torps are on the way, but these torps, as you know, they don't do insane damage. They do 5k damage each, which for his HP pool is a lot, because he doesn't have a lot of HP left. Now, this is not going to be a high damage game, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not good at submarines. It's more like to showcase what these ships do. I wouldn't say how to play against them, because I have no idea. Imagine that. But, you know, I think it's important to kind of know what the subs are about, at least to know what the difference is, I guess, maybe compared to normal subs. We only land 2 torps there out of 3, even though they were all 3 gonna hit them, because the third one just ran out of range, because it was launched slightly after the first 2. Now, there are destroyers here. I think this game's pretty much auto-loss, to be honest. The points are inverted. 700 points is actually on them, because the points are still inverted on replays. I believe I may land the torp on the Tirpids, which, as you can see, it's going to do, boom, 12,000 damage there. We're going to try to turn our ship around, and we'll try to launch some more torpedoes on the Tirpids. So he's pretty much broadside. I would say these are a bit wasted torps, I guess. But we want to make sure to kill the Tirpids, get him out of the cap, so I can try contest this cap. Remember, the points are inverted, guys, so this isn't actually, we're not winning the game at all. They have a lot of ships too. I did overdose on the torps there. I think I launched too many torps on the Tirpids, but that's okay. It is what it is, you know. Do we get them? Probably. We got 45,000 damage now. I don't think we're going to get any damage on anything else, so that might be the game. We ended up doing 45,226 damage, 5 target hits, 8 torpedo hits, 3 kills. Team score, we got 2nd place on our team. Detailed report. We got 15k on Tirpitz, 5k on Salmon, 1k on Akizuki, 14k on Richelieu, 8k on Azuma, and 700 damage on the Ipiranga. 36k damage from Torps, 15k damage received. We died, so we received all the damage. Here's the credits and XP. For my commander build, once again, we've got Helmsman, Liquidator, improved battery capacity, consumable specialist, watchful, superintendent, enlarged propeller shaft, and adrenaline rush. For equipment, we've got torpedo tubes mod 3, submarine steering gears, torpedo tubes mod 1, damage control system mod 3, and main armaments mod 1. Don't get the submarine early access, guys. Just get it when it's a tech tree. And more importantly, is it good? Well, it's a submarine, so yeah. It's not as good as S-189, actually, to be fair. But it's still pretty good. S-189 is the superior submarine, though, for sure. That's pretty much it, guys, for this video. More submarine cringe. But anyway, let's call it for today, and we'll see the S1 tomorrow. There you go. Big fan, guys.